This is Alex Killorn, and you're listening to Missin Curfew.
What's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media in Newport Beach. Let's not forget this show is always presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Old school today. Obes in the up dog. Richie, he's out showing lots in Pine Canyon. Swish is stung Philly like he says in Montreal.
I guess so.
And it's just me and the up dog in the studio here, fella.
Yeah, feels like good old times, bud. And I got to say, to be in Montreal right now, even though they lost the last two games, fella, what a city.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to think that the city after they lost was not quite the same, right?
Yeah, you could tell in the third where they started chirping them for shooting the puck that it just wasn't going to have that bite when you hit downtown.
And I'm just going off of when I played in Vancouver. Like when I would drive home after we won a playoff game at home, I'd be like, "Ooh, this city's buzzing." And then when you lose,
let's party.
Yeah. I'm like, I got to get home here, get home. And then when you lose, you see people walking around, their like heads are down. So I was really hoping the Habs could pull it out for Swishy so he could really, but I'm sure he still had a good time.
I'm sure you get the day off in between.
Yeah.
And then there's still hopes that you got to win you're going to get the game 4. So that would have been fun. But just what a city in the springtime. God.
Yeah. There's a lot going on there.
Tons.
I gotta give some love to the Mago, PA Toronto, and my old teammate Fucko. I called him Zen and Konopka. They were in Montreal. Texted me if I knew. Yeah, you got any hookups there? I'm like, fellas, I've been to Montreal once in the last 10 years. I'm out of the game.
You guys played there. What do you mean?
PA. I'm like, you played there.
You played there, and you're French. We can't even call a fucking hostess.
Yeah, I did tell Konopka because he played in Tampa with the caveat. I said, hey, your best bet, in my opinion, is I know Vinny's there, boots on the ground, as Swishy would say. Maybe fire the fucking old number 4 text. He might know what's going on. He might have a heartbeat of the city still.
I go right to the source, to Jose Theodore.
Yeah.
God, I mean, what a heartbeat on the city he's got.
What a beauty he is. I'm assuming he was flying his plane from Florida to Montreal for game 4, and he had a Montreal Canadiens hat up in the cockpit.
Yeah.
And it was just him flying his bird. I'm like, what a legend.
With the goggles and a flag probably on the wing.
Yeah.
Hey, that's old school.
That is old school, man. I mean, Jose Theodore, what a legend.
He is. And a friend of the pod. When you text me earlier this year saying Theo's coming on, I said, fucking A.
Yeah. It was great too. You asked him what he's doing. He's like, I'm not bragging. You asked me what I'm doing. I'm flying my plane here.
Yeah. I'm going to the Bahamas.
I'm not bragging.
I'm going to play at, he wasn't playing Bakers. What's the other course there at Atlantis?
There's Albany.
Albany was where he was going.
Albany's
proper spot. Did a little landing pad there for the bird.
Albany, I mean, listen, Baker's Bay is amazing, but Albany is tits, man. Titty. And I was lucky enough to go down there with Billy Quinn. It just feels like Billy Quinn gets a shout out every week. He deserves it. For Tigers tourney down there, and you should have seen the vessels parked in the Albany harbor. Tigers boat was there.
He tried to get.
I would jump in the golf cart every morning with Mac Miller. I'm like, let's go cruise by Tigers vessel and see.
Careful, he might bring it right on there.
I said, go ahead.
Yeah, go
Fuck,
right
if you're gonna do it, Mac Miller, you might as well do it with Tiger.
Where's that tender? Have him send it out.
Pull the hips down. Let's fucking get some cash here, right? Like if he knocks you up, then we can just say we're not. Pay us.
Kid's gonna have a great short game.
Pay us, or we're having this kid. No, but more I was like driving by there to see if anything was going on.
Yeah,
what's he doing?
Well, who's on that boat?
Yeah. I thought you might have, but a beautiful spot. We'll get into the series here in a little bit, up dog. I just want to talk to you about the President's Cup curse. It goes all the way back now till 2013.
12 years, right?
Which, correct me if I'm wrong, that was the lockout year, right? That was a blur.
The Hawks.
So it was a shortened season. Is where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Is it a curse, Uppy, or is playoff hockey so much different than the regular season that we just take too much into who wins it doesn't matter who wins the President's Cup. Yeah. I don't know so much if it's a curse or if just playoff hockey is so much different that, you were the best team in the regular season. It doesn't mean as much when we're playing 4-7.
I think since the salary cap came in, Obes, yes, parity is a big, some call it optimism for the league. The fact that any team can get hot at the right time, stay healthy, have the pucks go posting in, win overtime games. Everything needs to go right for you. And you know this, we both played. It's the hardest trophy to win in pro sports, 16 wins. it doesn't matter if you got 55 wins in the regular season and your goalie was playing hot. If he gets cold, your team stinks. Colorado Avalanche, for example, this year has, arguably the best home record. Went on 2 massive streaks this year. And then, they lose their best player in game 1 of the first round, can't play, shoulders hanging on by a thread, and the team looked like an entirely different Colorado Avalanche team. Yes, they got up 3-0 in game, in game 3 to make it a series, but boom, Vegas plays a tight match and the curse continues. When I always played Obes, when we came in the league and you had Detroit Red Wings always stacked, you had the New York Rangers always stacked, salary caps were a thing of the past. These teams, they could rely on, if one guy goes down, they got 4 more superstars. Yeah. Now, if your superstar goes down, look at the Edmonton Oilers. If one of those guys goes down, they're useless. Yeah. Colorado, with a healthy Makar, it's a different story. We might be talking about the curse being ended, but no.
I mean, I know he was banged up, but
what a different team, though.
Yeah, I just want to see these President's Cup trophy winners here. Ups, like, one thing from this list too, like you look back, last year Winnipeg, year before Rangers, Boston had an unbelievable year.
Yeah, Tampa got swept.
Florida,
Tampa got swept that first round, and I think 19.
I'm just thinking like, I don't know if it's a curse as more as it's just like, hey, the regular season is one animal. It's a marathon. It's 82 games. And then boom, you get into playoffs and it is a completely different thing. You're playing every other night. You're playing against the same guy. It's man on man. Like, who wants it more than that? So there's been a lot of chatter about the President's Trophy curse on ESPN and TNT with the boys and stuff. Mainly on ESPN, they've been talking about it a lot. McAfee and the boys. I don't know if it's a curse. It's just, I don't know if it matters that. I just think like, congratulations on the President's Cup. Yeah. You're not guaranteed fuck all. And I don't know if it means as much as it should.
No, and I think players often, like, you're on a team and you get that President's Trophy locked up, say 3-4 games left. Like, you're not like going for beers and like, we got the President's Trophy. I think the coach, a good coach, and I've never been on a President's Trophy team, a good coach doesn't even talk about it.
No.
Like, we were in Big Canyon, we were sitting around the men's grill with, CJ and the boys, and and our boys at Big Canyon always ask questions about hockey. They're all sports guys, but like to get a little knowledge from us. They're like, what's this President's Trophy curse all about? Is that like a real thing?
There's been a lot of chatter about it.
And you're just kind of like, yeah, it's a real thing, but it's just a hard fucking trophy to win. You have to find your best game at the toughest part of the year. And you got to have great goaltending. And without that, you have an uphill battle to climb, Obes, no matter what's the case. And this year, like, Colorado just, it's not like they were cruising by guys in the first couple rounds. You weren't just like, oh, this is Colorado's to lose. There was just some good teams. Like Minnesota had a chance.
I was before the start of that Vegas series.
Were you?
I mean, they swept the Kings and then they beat the Wild. When they beat the Wild in 5, that's when I was like, okay, this is go time.
And then again, you beat these teams early in 4 games and in 5 games. The time off, usually you think that helps.
Yeah.
Some teams doesn't help. You get off track and it's another Olympic break that you're like, holy fuck, what do we do for 7 days?
Yeah, and I think it just comes. I've always said this about if you're going to be a GM in the league, it's like it's 2 different seasons. Like, you got to build a team that over 82 games can get you in the dance, and then you got to build a team that can fucking withstand 2 months or 2.5 months of pure fucking battling. Right? It's like it's such a different animal. I just think. I don't think the Avalanche getting swept by Vegas takes anything away from the regular season. They were the best regular season team this year. They earned the President's Cup. And I think once playoff starts, you just throw that away. It doesn't really. I'm just saying, it doesn't really mean much. It doesn't really mean much. So,
and then you look at the more minutes, like some of these. I like big teams in the playoffs. I like teams that can tighten it up. I like teams that can play rough. We talked about this before, but if you're losing a game, you got a tough team. You fucking make a statement. It's a long series. These, felt like the Avs. Kind of like were just a step behind, and their big guys were a little tired and fuck, they were just getting beat all over the ice. And so you talk about throwing it out the window. It's just a different game. So you do have to build a team. It's got to be the big teams win, but you got to find a way, to battle and to get through it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is a curse. No one's won since 2013. I just think it's so different that like. I mean, once playoffs start in the NHL, anyone can win. And it's not I don't think the Avalanche lost because of the pressure of being President's Cup champs, right? I don't think it puts more pressure on teams and makes it harder to win the cup. I just think it's hard to win the fucking cup. So, but the streak does continue, and there has been lots of chatter about it. So, Updog, some big news down here in Orange County. Our good friends at Eagle 4, the Hoag, is now officially the Hoag Senior Players Championship. Freddie was there.
For that.
Freddie was taking a picture. Kevin Martin was there. Listen, I love this tournament. Obviously, Todd Pickup, Joe Moody, and the boys put it on every year. Hoag Hospital does a lot. But now that it's the seniors players, first thing I thought was, I'm going to get some swag. It's going to be nice to have some senior player swag. And I just think it puts even more eyeballs on Newport Beach Country Club, which is good for Pickup and the boys, and even more eyeballs on Newport Beach as a city, Orange County. It's another check mark for Eagle 4 and the boys. Great job, and I'll see you there next year at the senior players.
Oh, the boys love it.
Yeah.
The boys love coming here. It's a great venue. It's a great place to stay. You come in, the course is in mint shape. The beers are flowing. It's got a great crowd. I think the crowd here at the Honda Classic here at the Hoag Classic for the last numerous years that we've been going is a great atmosphere. And for them to do a 5-year deal, to make it, put a flag in the ground and have a stapled senior, one of their opens, it's amazing. It's amazing for the community. It's amazing for us.
Yeah.
To go there, play some great greens leading up to the tournament.
And the first thing I thought was,
you get the field.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, you get the
field. You tell me Tiger Woods, rumor is he's back on a bird back to Switzerland. I don't know if this is true or not. I mean, do you think he came here and fell off the wagon and he's right back on the bird? I don't know if that's true or not. But whenever Tiger does, get everything figured out, and he will, and I hope he does, because I love Tiger Woods, man. Like, people forget, sometimes I have this conversation with Loops, right? Like, Loops is hard on Tiger Woods and Conor McGregor sometimes. I'm like, dude, Tiger Woods was the reason we played golf and watched golf. And Conor McGregor was the reason we love UFC. But some people forget, Tiger, man, he was the man. That's why I still wear Sunday Red stuff. And there's a part of me that likes how big of a beauty he is too. That he's always getting. I don't think he should be flipping cars and shit, but I'm like, this guy's kind of a beauty. He's always getting into shit.
Well, to your point, dude, it's more. Everyone's human, and we all go through ups and downs in our life. We've never gone through ups like he's had. The amount of work he's put into his profession and the moments he's had as a human being are second to none. Maybe Michael Jordan, maybe Tom Brady, Gretzky, but you think of just champions. He's an icon. He's the GOAT for owning moments where you might question, can he do it today? And he does it. Yeah. But then we've seen a downfall in him numerous times. We've seen comebacks, specifically the Masters, after numerous back surgeries and accidents, and he comes back, wins the Masters. We will see another comeback. It would be great to have him here.
Yeah,
it would be great when he gets shit together and fucking Tiger comes back as Tiger of the Senior Tour.
5-year deal. Tiger Woods wins the Senior Players Championship before that 5-year deal expires.
And he's going to Rothschild's after he's having a couple pints with Frankie and the boys.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what.
Is he allowed to drink?
I don't know. I don't think he's a big drinker. Anyways.
Have a little that beer.
I think maybe he should just start drinking some red wine or something. But congrats, Eagle 4. Pickup and the boys. Congrats. That's going to be great for the city, the community, and they do a great job there. So we'll be right back. I'm Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Pick 6, fellas. DraftKings' newest fantasy pick'em game. Just choose more or less on 2 or more player stats. The more accurate your picks, the bigger the payouts, fellas. Well, boys, I'm officially ice cold on the Pick 6 app. It is what it is. I had a couple big wins. And just so you fellas out there know, I'm still riding the upside from I think I've had 3 or 4 wins this year on the Pick 6 app. And I'm still playing with the house's money, the company's money here. So all it takes, I've been saying it all year, all it takes is to hit one of these fucking ride the upside Pick 6s, and you got some money to play with. So heading into the Stanley Cup Final, it looks like we are having a collision course for Vegas, Carolina. But I will say this, if you're looking at the Pick 6, for the Stanley Cup playoffs, just take Vegas over in blocks. Take all their D-men and over in blocks. Take fucking Smith, Nick Dowd, Eichel, all of them. I mean, the way they were blocking shots against the Colorado Avalanche, they're going to have to continue to do that. The way they bought in and checked in that game 4, I mean, they're just holding the middle of the ice up, dog, keeping everything the outside. And then when they do get a chance, they're blocking everything. And if not, Carter Hart's back there kicking. But I just think, boys, moving forward, pick 6 app, Vegas Golden Knights, blocks.
Love that. Unders and goals. I think it's going to be tight checking. If it is Canes in Vegas, we're going to know by the weekend. So unders. And then, you know what? Under in Shea Theodore hits.
Yeah.
Hey, just
they don't have
guys got one hit again in the playoffs. I think what did T-Rex pull up on the boys for Shea Theodore's playoff record? The guy's got, played a lot of playoff games the last 6-7 years. Not many hits, boys. Not many hits.
He's not a physical presence out there, is he?
So yeah, in a comedy way, that's just a lock. I don't know how your odds are going to be on that, but I'd like to say Mitch Marner, maybe in some apples.
Mitch Marner's lines finally went up.
They did, huh?
The DraftKings pick 6, and I tried to give a heads up to the boys. It was for a while. It was 0.5 points, which he was getting in his sleep. Yeah. And then finally the boys at the company fucking had a meeting, and now it's over 1.5. But you on the pick 6 app, you could just hit less. That's the thing that's great about it. So where Uppy's coming from, boys, is saying it's going to be a tight checking final if it's Vegas and Carolina. Jack Eichel is always over 1.5. Maybe you take under. Mitch Marner over 1.5. Maybe you take under.
Yeah.
Right? That's what's great about this app. I don't take many unders, but I'm about to in this final.
Yeah, this will be a final. This is going to be a man's game.
Yeah.
It looks like two big man teams. So when thinking about that, think of the hitting, look at the hitting, think of the goaltending and the checking. But that's where you're going to find your odds.
It's a block party, boys. I'm telling you. It's a fucking that Rasmus Anderson, Noah Hannafin. They're blocking everything. Braden McNabb.
Blocker and trapper.
They're blocking everything.
Everything.
And then if it does get through, Carter Hart's there sitting up in the fucking row 17, just
takes over and hits in Barbashev too. He's a machine. He's a different player come playoff time. Now playing his 4th final in since I last played. It's crazy. Yeah.
He's been great. Him and Dorfiev and Eichel is just a big boy line. Yeah. So, boys, ride the upside. Always gamble responsibly. Get in the mix with the Pick 6 app. Fellas, moving on here. Get this guy an ice-cold pristine Pilsner. Fellas, this segment is brought to you by Labatt. Brewed for the chirps, the rivalries, and the sacred art of trash talk. Labatt, brewed for the roast. Shout out to our boy Jason. They came out with this unbelievable July 4th fucking t-shirt. It says red, light, and blue. And it has some like stars and stripes with 2 blue lights. I'm like, fella, where do I buy that?
Yeah,
he says, don't worry, Obes, I'll send you one. I said, listen, XXL, thanks, fella. While you're sending me that tarp, send me some pristine Pilsners. He said to the studio, I said, no. To the Bay Club, fella.
Yeah, yes.
As many as you can fit in that fucking, I'm telling you, these beers, and I'm not just saying this because they're a great sponsor and that they are up, dog, but these Labatt Blues, they're my favorite.
They're a good beer. They get ice cold. Something about it's not my fridge too, because the other beers I pull out, when I don't have any Labatts left, aren't as cold.
Yeah,
they get just icy.
I'm trying to get them out here in California. I played with these 3 beauties that are in the beer and liquor industry. I'm like at the Ducks alumni tournament. I'm like, boys, we got to get pristine Pilsners out here in California. So I've been talking to Jason. I'm trying to connect the dots because even Jim Abbott, great guy. Shout out to old 2-5 Jim Abbott. What a beauty. He's a good Flint, Michigan boy.
Yeah.
He's about to head home. I'm like, listen, you want me to get some Labatt Blues sent to you? Let me know. He's like, I can buy them anywhere in Michigan. How come we can't get them out here? I said, I know. I'm trying. Distribution.
We got to bridge the gap.
We're trying to bridge the gap.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, we're trying to bridge the gap.
Call. We got a guy.
So Jay, thanks, buddy. I'll take like a 40 to 48 of them, or like send as many as you can, fella.
And then just keep them coming every week. Especially in the summer, you know what's going on. There's barbecuing.
Yeah,
my boys are over. There's a boat. There's a hot tub. Yeah, I need more beer.
He's such a good guy too. He big guy. Shout out to big guy Bubba Ganoush. He's like, I'm put a little, making my garage into an office or something. I need a beer fridge. So I called Jay up and I'm like, hey, you got any of those beer fridges? He's like, fuck, I just gave away my last one, but I have one in storage. I said, fella, I wouldn't make you do this, but for the big guy, you gotta. So he went to storage, got it, shipped it to the big guy, and it's sick. It's got that Labatt with the fucking maple leaf, and it's just juice. It's just juice.
You gotta have a beer fridge.
I know, I don't have one. I need one.
Real beer drinker unless you have a proper like Labatt Blue sponsored with the LED lights in there.
Totally. It's funny you say that. I've recently turned into a beer drinker in the last year. It's not great for my waistline, but it's great for my relationship and my hangovers. I'm a beer guy now, and I need a beer fridge.
Yeah, for sure. You
Right?
can't. You gotta have room for the strawberries and yogurt and orange juice.
I told Mac Miller we need a beer fridge somewhere. I want to put it on my patio.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
What's holding you back? You got a plug-in out there? You need an extension cord.
I think I got an extension cord too. So, boys, if you're lucky enough to get the Pristine Pilsners, get them in you. Updog, I'll start dishing here, my man.
Yep.
I'm dishing 3 ice-cold Pristine Pilsners. Let's start out here out west, the Western Conference champs. John Tortorella, you beauty. Get yourself a 12-pack ice-cold Labatt Blue. The record, I believe, is 19-4-1 since Torts has come. And I'm just so impressed with the maturity of Torts, like the way that he's come in here, and it's been a veteran group, but all the players say, and this is one thing that John Tortorella is great at, Uppy, like when he comes in for a team meeting and the way he talks to you guys, like there's just something about him that's like, fuck, let's go. And Mark Stone said that after they won the West, and I just got to give Torts credit because he's learned from maybe his mistakes or whatever you want to call it. He's come in here, he's been calm, cool, and collective, and at the same time, he's brought that passion. And he's 4 wins away from the Stanley Cup. He's got his fucking playoff beard. It's gray and grizzled. So Torts, my man, get yourself an ice cold Labatt Blue. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, what I would say is just the feedback you get from the players and from everybody on just the energy Torts has brought into the room. We all know Torts. He could be a wild card. He's a fucking full on. He lives and dies by his words and his energy. But the Vegas Golden Knights were a completely different team the minute John Tortorella came in and stood behind the bench. So, watching them now 4 wins away, watching him go out on the ice with the team and Mark Stone calling all over the boys, for now, I think this is their 4th. Is this their 4th or their 3rd? It's their 3rd.
What's that?
Trip to the Cup Final.
3rd trip to the Cup Final in 9 years.
In 9 years.
Crazy.
And to see a guy that was, sitting on a desk talking hockey and breaking down the game, and as good as he was at that, his passions being behind the bench, 4 wins away from a Stanley Cup Final. You're now talking there's going to be 2 teams left, and what just a special feeling that is for a guy that lives and dies by the game, and the game's treating him great back.
Yeah, and he's bless you, and he's held it together. I mean, I thought by now he would have fucking. I thought by now he would. I'm kind of disappointed. Torts, I love you. I'm kind of disappointed you haven't snapped yet, but I guess you really.
But he did. He sent the guys on the early bird back home after they beat the Ducks.
Yeah.
So there was a little. There was a feather in his cap there. I'd like to say thanks for getting us. Thanks for getting us home, coach. But fuck, that's $100K in your pocket
and the second
rounder.
Yeah.
All the speculation. People were like, "Oh, what an asshole! Didn't send him out." No one knew that there's a curfew here at John Wayne. So to me, that's a coach that's saying, "Guys, good job. Let's fucking enjoy the beers. Bus in 10." But yeah, to your point, he couldn't help himself.
Boys couldn't fly to Long Beach or what? I've always thought about that. Like, what about Long Beach? I used to say that when I played for the Ducks. I'm like, fuck, why don't we just fly into Long Beach? Either LAX or, if you couldn't get in the curfew. What time's Long Beach close?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess they just had the bird parked at OC.
Because they thought they were going to get out
the next day, right? Yeah.
Typically, they'll let you slide a little bit too. Like, if you get out of there like a little bit later than the curfew, they usually let you slide. But Torts, man, get a Pristine Pilsner in your buddy. You're 4 wins away. I loved how he said the first 3 rounds we're playing the playoffs. Now we're playing for the Stanley Cup. I was like, that got me fired up, and I was just sitting on my couch. Continuing on here, get this guy, an ice cold Labatt Blue, the captain of the Vegas Golden Knights, Mark Stone, fella. I'm just assuming you like an ice cold Labatt Blue. He was hurt. I'm no doctor, Uppy, but when he did get hurt in the previous series, or was it early in the Colorado series? Was it game 1 he got hurt? Doesn't really matter. It looked like a groin injury, and I just didn't think if he came back he'd be able to skate anyways. And if there's one knock on Mark Stone is he's not the fleetest of foot. Well, not only does he come back, he scores in game 3 and the winner in game 4, or not the winner because Landy got one late. But I just want to give Mark Stone an ice cold Labatt Blue, man. This guy continues to prove me wrong, to prove people wrong. He comes back from an injury and he's an impact player.
There's a reason why he's, there was no question mark on him being on that Olympic team earlier this year, where everyone might have thought, is he a guy that you take off? But there's things in his game, Obi, that the best hockey minds look at and say, this is something that this guy does better than absolutely everybody on the planet. And that's his stick. That's the way he plays on the right side of the puck. That's his hockey sense, which can't be taught. It's given. And, for me, whether he's hurt or not, like he's struggled with back injuries. If it's a groin now, it's a groin. But what you get out of Mark Stone is the same sort of every night. Like, yes, he's not the fastest skater. He's not the
smart,
fastest skater when he's in the best shape of his life, and he never was. But fuck, is he smart? And that stick, as ugly as that knob is, and as long as that thing is, God, if I looked at that thing in my hands, there's no way in God's green earth I could stick handle, or I wouldn't even want to play hockey if someone said use this stick. His teammates strive on when he's in the lineup. You can see that they're a different team, and they play hard in front of him. I don't know if he's a vocal guy on the bench, but what I see when he's fired up and he scores those goals, those 2 big goals, he is a man on a mission. And now, 4 wins away, I couldn't think right now of a better, sort of captain to have going into a Stanley Cup final. He's going to get the rest. He's going to get about a week off. And, with the likes of him and Ikes and, Theodore and guys in Barbashev, the guys that have been there and won now, you got to look at, no matter who they play, that they're going to be, a favorite going in, the way I look at it.
Like, you mean on the money? Like,
I just think
they're going to be underdogs against Carolina, but it's going to be a pick 'em.
But I would rather be on the Vegas Golden Knights going into this series, knowing that these are my troops.
Yeah.
We've been here before. The fans have been here before. We know what to expect. We know how hard it's going to be. We've found failure in this position, and we've also got to the mountain. I'd want to be in that room.
Well, I hope you're right, fella. I got one more. Stoner, good on you, buddy. Get a couple ice cold Pristine Pilsners in you over the break here. Last but not least for me, these Carolina Hurricanes, man. Their fans are all been all over me all playoffs. They got some serious mojo going now, and I'm really concerned that they kind of look at a team like Destiny up dog. But Keandre Miller, fella, get yourself an ice cold Labatt Blue. I watched this guy play in New York. I mean, some of the reads that he would make and some of the mistakes that he would make is the reason they shipped him out of town. And he's come into Carolina between him and Slavin. And I heard Gretz say this last night too. Right when I put it in my notes, Gretz after the game was like, Keandre Miller, this guy is fucking shutting down everyone. I was like, you're 100% Gretz. You're no one knows the game better than that guy. And I just got to give him credit, man. I always thought that his hockey IQ was really, really low. And, he was kind of a liability out there. With him and Slavin as kind of a 1A, 1B, he's been unbelievable for Carolina. So Keandre Miller, fella, get yourself an ice cold Labatt Blue. He's like a blanket out there up dog. He's just shutting everyone down. Just
to further this, I would say you give this whole sort of Carolina team, the way they play defensively, defense wins championships. There's no question. That has always sort of been the case. But the way you look up and down the lineup, they're all plus players in the playoffs. They've all chipped in a little bit offensively, but they're not scoring 5-6 goals a night. This team has bought in. So to the whole Carolina Hurricanes, the way you're playing the game, you all deserve beers after the game, because playing this way is not easy. It's not like everyone's getting cookies and all this stuff. You're playing a hard game. You're smothering down other teams that are just as good, if not better offensively. And that deserves beers. That sort of play deserves fucking send 48 to the boys.
I think they're so focused though, they're not even drinking beers. They're just like they want it so fucking bad. I'm sure
the first 2 rounds, you got to have some beers in between those rounds.
Seth Jarvis had the best tan heading into the Eastern Conference Finals I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure. But you want to dish out an ice cold one?
I would just, going back to Vegas, what Jack Eichel's been doing. Jack, you're fucking a man on a mission. I've ISO-cammed you a lot this playoffs. The way you play, the way you shut down, McKinnon, the way you've shut down just the offense of the best teams. Winning hockey, just said it before, winning hockey in the playoffs is playing hard hockey. And Jack Eichel, to me, is a guy that's, you talk about man on a mission. He's been there before. He's going for his second cup. He's got a gold medal this year. And to him, it's about the team. And I'd love to see it. So Jack, keep going. 4 wins away again from your second cup. Get yourself a nice cold Labatt Blue, fella.
Yeah, he deserves it as well, boys. So always drink responsibly, boys, but get those Pristine Pilsners in ya. Updog, Eastern Conference Final, 3-1 Canes. Talk about taking the wind out of the Bell Center there in the first period. I was like, that is how you take out 20,000 fans and make them just want to leave the arena. But on the side of the Montreal Canadiens, I guess where I'm going with this is, do you think they're just tired? Do you think they finally have just gotten to the point where they're young and they're tired? Because to me, the intensity is getting to them, and shoot the fucking puck, boys. Like, I don't know if I've never been in that situation. I don't think where I've been getting dominated that bad. But if I was trying to put my ex-player hat on last night up. So I'm like, if I'm on the bench, I'm like, fuck off with the passes. Shoot the puck, drive the net. Let's get to the fucking inside, because they were playing right into Carolina's hands, in my opinion.
They played a lot of hockey. They played, 7 games, 7 hard ones against Tampa, which you even said earlier, this is probably the best series of hockey I've watched in a long time. So a hard series there. Then you play Buffalo. It's back and forth. It's two, great teams, a lot of skating, a lot of hitting, rough hockey. Then you got the Carolina Hurricanes, who are sitting back, rested, didn't come out in game 1 the way they probably wanted to. But then game 2, 3, and 4, we saw Carolina Hurricanes that, as you just said, on a mission. I would say that the energy that Montreal has been able to gain from going into the road games, winning a lot on the road, having a coach that really comes in, Marty St. Louis, comes in, pumps you up, says the right things, a guy you want to play for, a guy that played and has respect amongst everyone in the league in that room. They're tired. They're tired. When you're tired, you can't go out and fight a guy at the right time of the game. You're mentally not maybe as sharp. You're not shooting the puck. You're not using your home energy to your advantage. I looked at Suzuki. I think in game 3, goes into overtime. Suzuki has a breakaway. 9 times out of 10, this kid goes in and makes a move. He shoots, kind of misses the net. Those sort of things are when you're tired, Obes, you make those mistakes.
Yeah.
When you're tired, you don't take advantage of those opportunities. And to me, Gretz said it on the show the other day too, is now you're seeing a team that played a lot of hockey catch up to them.
Yeah. No, I was definitely, game 1 was rust. After game 1, I was like, see, Carolina's too horny. They're fucking all over the ice, and Montreal made them pay, and then they were just rusty. That's all it really was. I never thought I would say this, but like, where's Patrick Laine? Where is he? He's got he had a core muscle injury that he was going to be out for 3 or 4 weeks, but I saw a clip of him shooting pucks. I don't know if it was an old one. I'm probably getting duped a little bit on social media, but if he's available, I mean, why not throw him in for game 5?
They need to score
and just have him fucking rip him. And let's get fucking Arbor Jack guy back in the lineup, please. And I'd like to see Brandon Gallagher maybe get in there for game 5.
I couldn't agree more.
We need some fucking, they're done though.
Well, you got to Gallagher's in for game 5. There's no question.
Get him in there. You can see their scar tissue with Carolina Hurricanes fans though, because our boy Kyle Conway, he still is like, it's not over. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, but he just doesn't want us to start ripping him in on our text chain. Because the Canes, he sent that emoji of the Hurricane last night. And I just was like, stop.
You know what's crazy is I've had money on the Hurricanes the last 2 years in the playoffs, and they fucking let me down, and now they may really bend me over. But hey, let's see. The Habs have bounced back, but honestly, Updog, I kind of hope it's over in 5. Let's move on to the Stanley Cup Final. Let's not drag this out. But and then out west, the West champs again. We talked about it. 3rd time they've been to the Stanley Cup Final in 9 years. Bill Foley and the boys. I mean, you got an absolute well-oiled machine. But I want to give Kelly McCrimmon some love here. And I was actually talking to the lawman, Gary Lawless, this morning, and no one loves that team more than the lawman. And I brought up William Karlsson. I'm like, I kept asking Pickup and T-Rex and Schmoods. I'm like, is this guy done for the year? Where is he? And they're like, I think he's done. He's not coming back. And then boom, he comes back. I just thought that was so huge for them. It lets Marner go over and play the wing and kind of release Mitchie, in my opinion, and could play his natural position. But Nick Dowd and Cole Smith, the pickups at the deadline, like Nick Dowd is an absolute machine in the faceoff circle. I didn't know that. It's probably why I'm not a GM. And this Cole Smith, who I believe they got from Nashville, hits everything. Torts is like, he takes too many penalties. I'm like, where have I heard that before? But totally. I just want to give their management some love, man. Like at the deadline, they went out there and got some guys. And I'm going to say this too. They had the balls, or whatever you want to call it, to sign Carter Hart. And that is paying out big time for him.
Big time. I couldn't be more proud of Carter Hart. I think in any given circumstance, the kid deserved another shot, and now the kid, going from what he went through into a Stanley Cup final, I think you're going to see the best Carter Hart you ever seen, and he's an incredible goalie. He's a great kid. The whole team, though, being 4 wins away again, the Vegas Golden Knights, that atmosphere in that barn is, you have fans, great fans that, you heard the chants, by the way, the chants in the last game. They got up 2-0 late, and you could just feel, the energy. To be 4 wins away from the cup again is insane. I would say Howden, for me, is a kid that just stands out. Like 12 goals in the playoffs, found his game at the right time. You see how proud like his teammates are for. This is a group of guys that are proud to not, whether you score a goal or not, Obes, this team is all in. They're all in. You talked about playoff hockey being a moment where no one cares if they get points and stuff. This is what the Golden Knights are. They just roughed up the fucking Colorado Avalanche in 4 games. Roughed them up.
Let's call it what it was. They bitch slapped them. They bitch slapped them. And I want to talk to you on the Avs after this, but I'll tell you what, that game 4 was an absolute checking display. Yeah. I mean, if they play like that for, whatever, 7 games against Carolina, if it takes all that, I don't know if Carolina can keep up with that, because they were just above pucks and, forechecking and their D are relentless. And it was just a display on how to stay above the puck and play the right way. When you talk about the barn rocking right now, dude, I was there when they played the Oilers right before Butch got fired. You could have put a pin drop in T-Mobile. And this is the reason why. The Vegas Golden Knights are the second team since the 2002 Carolina Hurricanes. They had 39 wins in the regular season. The least amount of wins to ever get to the Stanley Cup Final. And to put it in perspective for you, the Sharks had 39 wins, and the New Jersey Devils had more wins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Think about that.
Got to get in the dance.
Yep.
You got to get in the dance, and then you rely on your big guys and your guys that have been there to say, guys, now it's anyone's game. We're just as good as anyone. We deserve to be here. Whether we got fucking 39 wins or 60, it doesn't matter. We're in the dance. And, man, Vegas is going to be rocking.
Yeah, and another thing, if to GMs or whoever, like the depth they have on defense, you got to have depth. And I'm gonna jump in the Avs right now with you, but like Jeremy Lauzon's out. This Coughlin comes in, this Korzak jumps in. Like, they got depth. Like, you need depth in your organization, especially at the defensive position, because if injuries happen, you got to have kids be able like this to jump in. So to Kelly McCrimmon and the boys, great trade deadline, great depth on the back end, and congratulations on being the Western Conference champs again. We will see you boys in Vegas for the final. Tea time's uppy. The Colorado Avalanche are officially looking for a tea time at Cherry Hills, Castle Pines. They're texting
to Aspen.
They're texting Kyle Quincy. They're texting Eric Johnson. Hey, Quince, I got to get on Cherry Hills. Hey, EJ, can you get me on Castle Pines? Listen, they had an unbelievable season. We all know that. But to me, man, they looked old, up dog. And I got it right here on my phone. Maybe the reason they looked old is because they are old. I mean, you look at their core players. Cale Makar's 28. Nathan McKinnon's 31. Devon Taves is 33. Landy's 34. Nelson's 35. Manson's 35. Kadri's 36. Like, to me, it's like, wow, this is an old hockey club. Yeah. And they looked old against Vegas, and they looked undersized. To me, I love Gabriel Landeskog. I mean, what he's done to come back and score 6 goals in the playoffs this year, to come back last year for them. He's one of the best captains in the NHL. But if I'm looking at this team, I think you got to bring more character in there. I don't know where it is. I don't know who it is. I don't even know if it exists. But to me, on that series against Vegas, yeah, they were banged up. But the character of the Colorado Avalanche, in my opinion, it really showed their true colors, and it didn't seem like they had enough of it.
Yeah, this has been a couple of years now that you expect. They went on a run, in their finals when playing Tampa. That was some of the best hockey I ever watched. They walked through the Edmonton Oilers in the conference finals. They go into Tampa. They win in 6. You see this team, like, you look at them, you're like, wow, they got the 2 of the best players in the world. One on D, one up forward. This team might go on and win 4 or 5. Then we went through a couple of years where we saw this team struggle with, like, how to handle adversity. Nathan McKinnon doesn't handle adversity well. It rubs off on the whole team. You can see it.
Yes.
With a guy like Cale Makar not healthy and in the lineup and controlling games by his skating and puck, he's arguably the best defenseman, ever to put skates on, in my opinion. The team is just different. I thought Kadri coming in, Obes, was a great pickup. But the depth and the age and the speed, and when things got really tough and they found the adversity, they struggled. And, Bednar's message probably wasn't getting through to them. They're not great teams playing, without a lead. And that sort of, that vibe, you question it. Is it time to get more character? Is it time to build through some youth? Do you make a big move? You have Taves lined up. They traded Sam Girardi this year, but is it time to maybe shake up things within the core? It's a question that, they're going to have to sit back and really dive into.
Well, they got to sign Makar, and he's going to want, what, 18, 20, 19?
20.
Yeah.
20 mil.
And he deserves it. So we'll see what happens there. And a kid, Sam Malinsky, who, I thought he was he's a good player, but I just thought come playoff time, especially against Vegas, he got exposed as, he's not very big. He's not very physical. His skating isn't as good as I thought it was against an elite team. To me, he was a real reason why they got swept, especially with Kale out. I thought, okay, maybe Malinsky can fucking hold the fort here till Makar comes back. Nuh-uh. Devon Taves, I respect him to death. When he's not paired with Kale Makar, different player. As I would be. As any fucking defenseman would be. And then I love Josh Manson. Then you got Brett Kulak and Bernsey. I love both of those players. Those two guys probably today up here are probably sitting around like, fuck, I'm never going to win one. Especially Kulak, right? He's been to 2 finals, and now he's like, this is my chance. Maybe it's just not my cards.
Those guys,
been
there, but not with those guys had powerhouse teams and haven't found it. It's again tough to win.
To win. And then obviously we know they were banged up, but everyone's hurt this time of year, so it's hard to make. Now Makar's injury is coming out that it was really, really bad. So to Kale, I give you credit for getting in there and playing. I wish you would have played game 2. I think if they have Kale Makar in game 2, they probably win that hockey game. I really do. Even at 75%, and it could be a different series. But Arturi Lehkonen being banged up, that really hurt them too. Like that guy, he is a definition of a playoff guy, and he was not 100%. So there's definitely some excuses, but then I look like a guy at like Marty Nashis, and I kind of said this all year. Ups like great regular season player. Is he built for playoffs? I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I don't know if he is.
Why Carolina kind of got rid of him. Right?
Like they saw something.
Carolina looks like Rod the Bod looks at the game in a very unique lens, and they must have saw something in him. Obviously, one of the best skaters, best creativity, out there. But push come to shove, like, do you want to go in and take the puck from Nashis, or do you want to go in and take it from a fucking
Martinuk,
big ass guy? Yeah,
Martinuk.
Who's going to elbow you,
or even like a guy like Elders.
Yeah,
that's coming to Carolina. Not the most physical guy, but he plays harder than Marty Nashis, in my opinion. Like hunts pucks harder on pucks.
Yeah.
And listen, I don't want to pour on Jared Bednar because I like Bedsy. Great suits. He's got a Stanley Cup, great hair. Playing blackjack in Vegas, they're down 3-0. I like that too. Like, don't let it ruin your time, eh? See if you can go win some money. But I watched the Avs a lot, Ups, and throughout the course of the year, I thought Scott Wedgwood was overachieving all year, and I thought they had to get Mackenzie Blackwood's game going. And I don't know if they tried hard enough, in my opinion, to do that. And Blackwood said after game 4, he's like, it's fucking impossible to come in and play after being out for that long. They brought Blackwood in to be the guy, and you went into the dance, in my opinion, with your backup goalie starting.
Yeah.
And the way they played defensively and in their own zone was loose. So I don't know if Bedsy's got to, maybe be a little harder on these boys, away from the puck, but they got away with so much stuff offensively is what I'm saying, Ups, that
you got to kind of recalibrate your group.
Yeah.
You got to kind of sit back and go, okay, we're not playing the way we need to win, but we have the tools. So how do you recalibrate this sort of engine to get it to where, we are fucking conquering games again? Because that's the Colorado Avalanche. We watch this. We're in these group texts. When they play the right way, they're steamrolling teams. So they got to recalibrate.
I've never seen a team go from fucking flying to just stuck in mud like that. I mean, and listen, Nick Waugh, he's got one more Stanley Cup than I do. But that was a bad pickup at the deadline. I mean, he is slow. Like I just don't know how you can think that guy's gonna get you over the hump. And maybe there was nothing else available. I don't know. But I do know one thing. I'm going to miss the altitude boys. Kiefer, Riker, Johnny Michael Lyles. They're the best in the business. They're heartbroken, I'm sure. And listen, I after they beat the Wild in 5, I was texting my boy Smitty at Sauce saying, hey, make me a Missin Curfew Landeskog t-shirt. Make 2 of them for game 1 and 2. I really thought they were going to dance the way they played against the Wild. Now, the Wild were banged up, but It is what it is. They will be back, boys. Tee it up. Get out there. Some really good golf courses in Denver.
Yeah, I know there is.
Get out there and
Johnny
tee up.
always got Castle Pines and fucking Cherry on this.
As he fucking should.
As he should.
Hey, you know what? I will say last thing about the Avs. You guys were fun to watch all year, and thank you because I watched your games night in and night out. And it's a long season as a media guy when you got to watch hockey every fucking night. And every time I turned on the Avs, it was must-see TV. So, boys, congrats on a great regular season. Rest up, and you guys will be back. Last but not least, right, Missin Curfew. Beep, beep, beep. Back up the Brinks truck up, dog. Evgeny Malkin, 1 year, $5.5 million. The rich get richer. I just wanted to say this. This is why I put in the rundown. I mean, his video coming out of Pittsburgh of him signing the contract.
I didn't see it.
It was fucking gold, man. He's like, 1 year? Let me add more zeros. Let me add one more zero on there. You mind if I get one more zero? Let me add one more zero. And he's just being such a beauty. He's like, and then he did like a little video like, you thought I was going somewhere else? Bingo, I'm back. So always wanted to hang out with Malkin. I've never had the chance. I chased around the ice a lot, but hey, I think it's fitting he stays there.
Yeah, Evgeny. Anyone named Evgeny is going to have a good time away from the rink for sure. He deserves it. And that, you know, call what Dubas and Spezza have done there, like keeping the core together, allowing them to, you know, continue on together, build a little culture, keep the culture. It paid off for them. No one thought they were in the playoffs. No one thought Evgeny Malkin would come back and play the way he did this year.
No.
They still got fight in them. Those dogs still got bark.
I thought Malkin was done 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, this guy should either just hang him up or go play back in Mother Russia. And whatever he did this offseason.
Loves the game.
Yeah.
Loves the game.
He really does. He really does. And, you know, like you said, they've earned it. The way they played this year, that they've earned a chance to run it back. So good on him. The rich get richer. Must be nice just at the end of your career, a little 1 year, 5.5.
Hell yeah.
Just a little retirement fund for him. Hey, we got all-time good guy, 2-time Stanley Cup champ, absolute stick on the golf course and glue guy, Alex Killorn, killer, coming out next on Missin Curfew. Fellas, welcome back to Missin Curfew. Up dog, man. One of our favorites. You know, obviously won 2 cups in Tampa. Came back out here, signed a nice ticket in Anaheim. The way he played in the playoffs, man, it fucking almost brought a little tear to my eye. Like I was like, that is fucking old school hockey there. I love to watch this guy
till he takes all our money on the golf course.
Yeah, and he's an absolute stick.
He's
so
done before.
Killer Alex Killorn, fella, thank you for taking time. You're always great to Missin Curfew, buddy. And first and foremost, it was a pleasure watching you out there in the playoffs, buddy. You play the game the right way, my man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support.
Yeah. Hey, let's start with your 1,000. You know, you played over 1,000 games this year. Thank you to the invite at the cannery. I got to meet your Harvard boys. All smart.
Yeah, I bet.
Good. I'm like, you guys are just all smart. Hey,
Do they
like,
have jobs?
all great jobs. I'm like, what do you do? He's like, Wall Street or this finances. I'm working Goldman Sachs. And a couple of them actually listen to Missin Curfew. But, you know, obviously me and Updog didn't play 1,000 games. What's that like for you now that the season's over? You got the silver stick. I mean, it's quite an accomplishment, fella.
No, it was like you said. When we start playing hockey, I don't think any of us imagined that we'd be able to get to 1,000 games. That cliche like line, you just want to get in the NHL, and I've been fortunate, and I was able to sign a 4-year deal with Anaheim that kind of allowed me to get, you know, to this point. And it's pretty stressful, like leading up to your 1,000th game, just because there's a lot that goes into it in terms of like everyone's flying in, you're hoping you don't like take a shot off your foot, or like, you know, you got the cannery all lined up. And but no, it was one of, you know, especially for a guy like me that's not going to win a lot of individual awards in my career, to get that was really special. It meant a lot to me and to my family and everyone along the way that helped. So it was a big moment for me.
Glue guy award,
Glue
though.
guy,
Glue
yeah.
guy award.
Well, you don't get 1,000 games without being a glue guy and putting a few in the back of the net. Killer, like new age NHL for 1,000 games. I know when, you know, I play with some guys, I think of Jovo, I think of like Shane Doan, Kimmo Timonen. The gift the boys kind of put together for you is like either a nice watch, or if you're a golfer, you're going to maybe Augusta or Pebble Beach on the boys. Like, who took charge in what Killer was getting for his 1,000th game?
Stromer, I bet.
Stromy, yeah, I'll give Stromer a shout out. So Stromer went on a trip. I think it was for Tavares' 1,000th game or 1,000th point or something last summer to Ireland. He did, you know, whatever it was, the Ballybunion, the whole thing. Did like nice. 8 of them. And he thought, like, during the trip, he's like, Killer would love this. We know his 1,000th game is coming up. So he booked it the summer before. for me. And so yeah, he set up a whole trip for Ireland. So I got me and 3 buddies going in July. But Stromer did a lot for me in my 1,000th game, whether it was like setting all this stuff up and got me Guinness on the plane after the game, just little stuff like that. He was huge in that those moments for sure.
There's a glue guy right there.
Yeah, Stromer's a glue guy.
Yeah.
Hey, you're in for a nice time over there in the old motherland of Ireland. We were lucky enough to go over for our 40th. Shout out to our boy William Quinn, good Irishman. We never played Ballybunion. What courses are you playing over there, Killer? Do you know off the top of your head?
Are
you playing?
Yeah, I could. I mean,
Tralee? Are you playing Tralee?
Hinch, Tralee.
Yeah.
We're doing Adair Manor.
Oh, there you
it's
go.
seven rounds. I mean, Ballybunion. What's the other? Trump Dune. Is it Trump Dune Bay?
Yeah.
Waterville.
So, yeah.
That's where
that one
that's
too.
where you'll stay when you go down there. You'll stay in Waterville. You play there. You go to Tralee. You go to Ballybunion. It's a cage match getting down there from Adair Manor. Like, I mean, cage match. These roads
the roads, Killer, are like
Ooh,
old school,
dicey.
like right out of Braveheart, man. Like they're tiny, and these trucks are just flying around, right? Because they're used to it over there. And we were just white knuckling with our boy Billy Quinn, and we're like, heads up you're on the wrong side of the road. It's kind of a cage match, like Upduck said.
My boys were warning me about that. They said, you have to kind of plan it out properly because, you'll be 2 hours in a car after the round or whatever, and it could get a little, hairy or whatever. But I don't care. I'll be all right. I'll figure that out.
Wait till you get to that Adair Manor, buddy.
But you got your hole in one out there, didn't you?
I got my hole in one at Tralee on number 8. When you get there, number 8. I don't know if the same caddy's still there. Old Mo, I'm sure. I hope he's still here. But yeah, I got it. It was blowing like 40, Killer. Yeah.
There's old Mo right
there.
there.
It is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Smokes fucking hell.
Unfiltered cigarets.
2 packs a day.
Yeah.
Fucking carry a bag though.
Yeah. It was blowing like
That's
40.
awesome,
it was blowing like 40, Killer, and I was playing awful, bro. I was like 10 or 11 over after 7, and he's like, he tries to give me a pep talk. He's like, Shane laddie, you're better than this, son. I'm like, I don't know if I am, old Mo. He's like, he goes, she's 135 on the ground, she's 165 in the air. You hit her at the left side of the green, laddie, and you let her take her over. I said, okay, old Mo, give me that fucking 8-iron. And finally, I squared one up, Killer, and the Irish gods, my man, took it over.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was really crazy.
Good for you, man. That's awesome,
And
especially in Ireland.
I'll tell you what, it was cool to be with my boys and Billy, obviously, but the caddies over there, Killer, I think Uppy would agree. The caddies make the trip even better. You're going to meet some really good dudes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure.
That Adair Manor, though, is rich, man. Wait till you get in those bed sheets. I mean, they're nice.
You're in a castle. I know you like to play a little padel. So you got a full padel. It's where the Irish train all their padel athletes. You got to stay on property. They're hosting the 27 Ryder Cup there. It's a Tom Fazio. It's beautiful. The last stretch of 5 holes, you're hitting into this castle the whole way with a little river there. Dicey little par 3 on 17. 18's a great finishing hole if it ever gets to it in the Ryder Cup. It's going to be sick. But dude, it's just flush. You can hear gunshots in the background because it's like a shooting club too. It's fucking epic.
Yeah.
They call it like the
I heard it's in good condition.
Augusta of Europe, Killer. That's what they like the conditions.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Stromer just keeps
Another
going.
check
He
mark
just
in
keeps going
Stromer's
up in my
book.
books.
Yeah.
Stromer, yeah, he's on Hockey Night in Canada, looking sharp,
Yeah.
with the suit, tie. Fuck,
I pulled a autograph.
He was good, too.
Stromer. I just pulled an autographed Stromer card actually the other day.
oh nice.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, I got to gift it. He's still here in Orange County. Good guy. I give it
Yeah,
to the
he
kids.
is.
Killer, buddy, when you first signed out here, I obviously knew you a little bit, but I got to know you a little bit more when you became a Duck. Obviously, we both love John Cooper. You for obviously 2 reasons you want to cup with them. But, when you first got out here, I remember you said, like, I got to change the culture. And I was like, man, you've already won your cups. Like, maybe just come out here and enjoy yourself. Like, no, I got to come out here, earn my money, and change the culture, man. And I want to tip my hat to you because when you came to the Ducks, it wasn't perfect, and you coming in my opinion, was a big reason that culture changed. So I just wanted to give you credit because from day one, that's what you told me, and I was kind of blown away by it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that like you come in and you don't just change the culture with one guy. Like there's been plenty of guys that you talk about Stromer. I mean, even having John Carlson, like his pedigree for these playoff runs, it's good to have older guys in the mix. You got Kreids and Trubes. With a young group, because it is a young group, but when you mix us together, I think there was kind of a nice chemistry. And it was tough the first 2 years. Not gonna lie, but that's kind of part of any rebuild. Like it's never easy. But once you could kind of see the light and you see some of these young guys and you understand what they're going to become, it becomes really fun. And like things are just going to keep getting better in Anaheim. So,
Killer, it was the one thing Shaddy used to say too, actually, who was here before. I know you played with Shaddy, won a cup with him. Unbelievable guy. I look at you both and I think, great locker room guys, great with the young players. I remember going over to his house one day just for, you guys were all having drinks over there or whatever the team was. And I had all these kids and everyone's watching TV. Kids are all playing over here, but I saw how tight of a group it was and how young it was. So I get, I get what you're saying where you mix in some old guys to help these young guys and you never know where the group can go. I guess my question to you would be, if you're like talking to a free agent right now, like in the summer in July, what would be like your pitch to those guys of just how good it is to play here in Anaheim, what Pat Verbeek's built, what Coach Q's been telling guys, like what would be your message to a guy on July 1 to come join the Ducks?
Well, I think when you look at joining a team, there's certain things you look at. There's obviously like ownership and management. We know in Anaheim, they're not afraid to spend money. I mean, the owner has done really well. He wants to have a winning team. And then you look at the surrounding area, like Newport Beach, which I would consider probably the best place to play in the NHL, in my opinion. And I played in Tampa. I still live in Tampa. We're going to live in Tampa and retire, but to like have a couple of years in Newport, it's a really special place. And then you look at the team, I think maybe what held guys back previously is that the team wasn't doing well. And some guys that are coming into the prime of their career might not want to sign with a team that's going through a rebuild. And I think we've kind of gone past that and we're through that now. So, when you add all those three things together, I think it just makes a good combination for free agents, even though, there's not a ton of free agents anymore. It seems like everyone signs but you could still, a lot of guys have no movement clauses and no trade clauses, and they could determine where they go, like with guys like Kreids and, John Carlson. I know they probably had a little bit of a say in, where they were going to be traded to. So it's a place that I know for sure older guys that have been in the league want to come to and play.
I'm just going to
you
throw
guys
one
live
guy
there,
out.
it.
Yeah, I'm going to throw one guy out there, Jaden Schwartz. My boy Schwartz is Stanley Cup champ, looking to get in the sunshine. Still got a lot of hockey left in him, so I'm pushing. I'm going to be on the horn here.
He's not going to take my number 17, is he?
No, he's not going to need 17.
I don't know if that's going to help Schwartzy get here or hurt him.
no,
I don't know. I don't know if that's.
Loves to tee it
help.
up, eh? Loves to tee it up. There's your partner.
Yeah, I just had written down for UFAs vitamin D, Killer? Playing in Tampa and Anaheim.
Yeah.
Vitamin D goes a long way. I don't care what anyone says.
It's a long season, man. And a lot of when you have families and stuff, you want them when you're on the road to like have a good lifestyle and to, enjoy where they're living, and they can go walk to Fashion Island. There's a lot of stuff they can do in Newport. Not to like say other places aren't as great. Well, they aren't, but I mean, it is what it is. Like some guys can't choose where they play. If you have the choice, I don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah. Hey, Killer, I'll go back to the start of the year. I don't know if you were there or not, but me and Updog, we took Brian Berard for lunch, and I don't think you were there that day, but there was like 8 or 9 of your teammates, from veteran guys to younger guys, sitting there having lunch, having a couple beers, and I just turned to Uppy. I'm like, that's a good sign for the Ducks, man. Like, you don't see that a whole lot anymore. Like, so to me, right off the get-go, it seemed like you guys had a close-knit group, and anytime I see the boys sitting around having lunch and a couple beers, I think that's a good way to start the season.
Yeah. And it was Jackson Lacombe the day he signed. So it was like...
So hopefully he picked up the beer.
That was... I remember vividly. So yeah, what a tight group, though. I remember him signing, and then that afternoon, we see 8 of you guys sitting around Joey's. Remarkable.
Yeah. No, I think that's something that gets lost on a lot of teams. I know when we were in, not to always talk about Tampa, but when you had guys, like Patty Maroon or Pears, and it was kind of just ingrained into like old school culture, and it helps bring the team together. I mean, in terms of chemistry, you want to play with guys that you'd have a beer with or you'd enjoy spending time with. Not that everyone has to drink, because it is a new NHL and a lot of guys just don't drink, but you just want them to be around and you want them to be involved, even if they just come have, a Coke, whatever. It's just kind of one of those things where we're all going to get together. We're going to celebrate, Jackson's deal. You know, he's not going to be whatever for the time being, the highest contract in Ducks history. Like, let's celebrate this guy. He's a guy that's loved in the locker room, and just little things like that go a long way, I think.
Yeah. I'm with you. And yeah, you don't have to get O'Brien drunk at lunch, eh? Like, you just have a couple beers. You don't have to stay till fucking 6 or 7 and get O'Brien drunk, but you can have a couple. Yeah. You have a couple cold
ones. You don't have to go
boys.
for lunch and stay for dinner, but you can go for lunch.
Hey, Killer, I want to get into the year with you, buddy, because I watched a lot of your games and it was fun. But I got to ask one question here. You know, I love that they got the old duck symbol back, and I'm getting behind the orange unis. But, fella, the orange buckets with the white tarps, I mean, do the boys like right away like that? I mean, I'm old school, Killer. NHL, 2 helmets. I need a fucking white helmet on the road, or the boys just embrace the orange bucket. Am I a dinosaur? I just like that white helmet on the road, fella.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't obviously have much of a say when it comes to that. We actually wore them a couple times this year just because like teams have the ability to tell us they don't want us to wear orange. So like when we play Detroit, they're red, and like they don't like that the red and the orange looks similar. So we wear white against Detroit, and I forget the other team. But yeah, I like the white. I think some of the guys prefer the orange, though, to be honest.
Yeah, new NHL.
The orange is
new NHL.
Yeah, new NHL.
It's growing on me now. I like after watching playoff hockey with the barn filled and the atmosphere. I kind of the orange grew on me.
Yeah, I got no problem with the orange. I just don't like that orange bucket on the bucket on the road. But it's like the Hurricanes with the red one. Fuck, they're marching to the Cup final here with those stupid red. I'm like, fuck, it's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
But Killer, let's get into the year, buddy. You obviously guys got off to a great start, and then I don't know, a month before the break or whatever, you guys lost 8 or 9 straight. You had some injuries. I'm kind of sitting out here in Orange County being like, fuck, I think the boys, maybe they're done. And then boom, right before the break, you come back and win 7 or 8 straight. Like, take me to the room. How'd that work? And how did you guys find your way and come out of that? Because it was really impressive.
Yeah, I think that was one of the good and bad things with our team, is that we either would get hot and things would kind of go our way, or we would go through these streaks where things wouldn't go our way, and it would kind of go on longer than we thought. And like, if you lose 8 in a row, even going into the playoffs, we kind of had, I think the last 10 or 12 games were a little bit dicey. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I think as a young team, sometimes, you can get in these slides and it's hard to get out of them. But we would have meetings and stuff, and we end up figuring our way out of it. And like you said, we have young guys and they go through that. They become better because of it. But yeah, we just, we can play a little loose at times because we have so much talent and we have so many guys that can score. Like in the past, it was probably an issue with the Ducks where we didn't score enough. And this year that was not a problem. So sometimes when you're scoring a lot, you could end up getting a little loose on the defensive side. And I think, especially when the games got so important, in playoffs, we found a way to defend, and that was the best I think we've defended all year by far.
Yeah, I was taking the over with the Duckies. I was telling the boys take the over. But Killer, you kind of teed me right up there, fella. Like heading down the stretch and then heading into the Oilers. I got to be honest. I took the Oilers because I just thought, like, you guys, I'm like, they're not going to be able to defend. If they get into a track meet with 97 and 29, I just don't know if they can keep up. And I guess what switched? Because once you guys got in there, was it you veteran guys? Was it Coach Q? Because you guys started just playing your best defensive hockey of the year, like you said. And I'm just curious, was it something said or systems, or because it cost me money?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I think things were, for a lot of guys on the teams, they had never made the playoffs before. And we were in the playoffs for a long time. Like the Pacific probably wasn't as strong as it usually is. So maybe we take our foot off the gas, kind of not knowing what was going to happen in the last 10 games. But throughout the season, whether it was like a power play when we need to score or a PK at the end of a game when we need to stop them, we kind of always rose up to those occasions. And even though like over time, maybe we didn't have the best PK or best power play, like I found in big moments, like we always found a way. We had maybe the most comebacks in the NHL this year. Yeah. So I think that the bigger the moment, we're able to kind of dial it in and focus. I don't know that we kind of like had a meeting or like we clicked our fingers, but I think after the first game of the playoffs, we just realized what we were up against and thought we're in this, we're not just going to come. We just don't want to make the playoffs and be happy with that, but we thought we had a good chance to win.
Yeah, just I would say your first game up in Edmonton, game 3, was when I was like, holy shit, like the Ducks are for real. They just went into Edmonton and I remember you scored a goal, you shut them down. I guess, being a couple years separated from the playoff hockey sort of mentality and that push for you, like the growth you've seen in your team at that moment when you're like, guys, we're playing the Oilers, back-to-back, Stanley Cup Finals. And we got these guys. Bring me like sort of into the room, the way the guys sort of gained courage. The power play was working, but sort of that feeling that you guys had once you were shutting down McDavid and Draisaitl, and you kind of knew, guys, this is ours.
Yeah, and I think that happens in all series. And I think if you watch any of the series, there's usually like a moment where you feel like you have the other team. Not that it's over, but with Edmonton, the first game was kind of like, I felt like Anaheim, we were trying to feel out what was going to happen. Like what was playoff hockey? How was McDavid going to play? How are these guys going to come? And we just sat back and kind of waited for them. They ended up winning game 1. But once we won game 2, I thought like, there was a good chance that we were going to be in this series. And as the series progressed, we kind of just kept getting better. But yeah, I don't know. We just had some veteran guys that played really well. I think when you look at like, our young guys, they played great too. And for us to kind of take that step, we always knew it was going to be the young guys that had to take a step, and they did. And you could see, who those guys are going to be going forward.
Killer, obviously the one thing I love about you too, buddy, you play hard for all 82, but when playoffs started, I saw a little something in you. Like, I was like, maybe you're back in the dance. And I always knew you were a playoff guy, but in my opinion, you elevated your game even more, offensively, defensively, penalty killing, everything. Like when you got back in the Stanley Cup playoffs, did it rejuvenate you a bit? Because watching you, that's what it felt like. Because you're unbelievable in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think so. I feel like I've always been a better playoff player than regular season, and I've tried throughout my career to kind of be more consistent in the season, because I always would talk to people and being like, I feel like I find like a little bit of a different gear for playoffs. And it's probably, when you're in the playoffs, you're not super worried about points. You're not super worried about goals. You're kind of just trying to win one game, and you're very present. You're just in the moment. And I think having that mentality for me, even at my age, just, helps me play better. So I think that's kind of what it was for me. And, after 2 years of not being in the playoffs, you're kind of excited to get back in it, and you find a different gear and a different energy. So maybe that was part of it.
That's why I was a good playoff guy too. No one cared about points, eh?
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, stats don't matter here. Win a game, boys.
Let's win even sheet, but everyone's just 0 points.
Let's win this game. Let's just 100%. Fucking win this game. But Killer, I want to talk about the Honda Center. There was a stretch here back in Getsy's days, and the year they won the cup, and then with Getsy and Pears and Kessler, and where they were always in the playoffs, and that baby would rock. And around the league, I think people forgot about that. And I would always say, hey, don't the Ducks fans, like when it comes time to playoff, they're good. And bro, it was rocking. Uppy, I think, went to 2 or 3 games. I didn't make it up there just because the parking situation, the structure, and the traffic. I felt, but talk about being in there, because it looked electric, bro.
Well, I remember when I signed, I remember you talked to me and you were like, these fans are great, man. You'll see. And it was awesome. I mean, we went up to Edmonton, a Canadian building, which was super loud, but I didn't feel, Uppy might have been at both. I didn't feel that they were louder than the Honda Center. The crowd was great. And I think the crowd has an ability to help teams in the playoffs, just kind of in moments where you need a little bit of energy, if there's a big hit. And they were great. So, and it's also nice when you do well in the playoffs. Anaheim's a big city, and most guys live in Newport. But even walking around Newport, you get noticed a little bit now, and that's just what happens when you start winning and things go well.
There's Ducks fever everywhere, right? People texting me, Killer, they loving Killer.
I will say,
I told you, boys, fact.
They're fucking ruthless fans, by the way. KC, our producer here, he was sitting up in the nosebleeds. And he sends me a video mid-game. This guy was just teeing off on some other guy. Like, it was like Ducks fans.
Is that the Vegas fan?
No, it was in the Edmonton series. They just grabbed the guy and started pumping him. I'm like, don't fuck with these guys.
It's like the fucking Dodgers fans, man.
They're coming in from the east side here, and they're fucking going to
town.
Oh,
yeah. Killer with their bands on.
Yeah, I had a Dodgers fan after Game 5. The Jays beat him, hit me with a fucking beer right in the head. And I was walking out, and who do I bump into but Stromer and the big boy, Ross Johnston. I'm like, hey, big boy, I might need you here. I just had a Dodgers fan hit me with a fucking tall boy right in the head. I'm like, these guys
That's a good guy to see outside, Ross.
Hey, Killer, I had a chance to chat with your coach shortly after the season, and the first thing he said to me, one thing he pointed out was just how proud he was of the growth your team had and, the excitement moving forward. But he also talked about, this year being the year that anyone could have really went and grabbed it, right? Like you guys had a really great series against Vegas. They come back late in a couple games to tie it and win, but with no Makar and a banged up McKinnon and the Avs, sort of falling apart in the conference final, it was really anybody's, Western Conference to grab. I guess, the question is, do you see this team now moving forward with the steps the young guys made, thinking like, we're just as good as anybody, we got great goaltending, just your thoughts on how you guys can feel going forward, knowing how close you got with the top 8.
Yeah, I think Q has. You're talking about Q, right? The coach that you talked to. So, I think he has the right mentality. And I talked to him after the season, and he was super proud of the way we played and the steps we took. But he also thought, if we beat Vegas, who knows what could have happened? And I think, maybe people that aren't within the locker room think, hey, they made the playoffs, they won a round, like. Good for them, but that's not really the way we thought about it. I mean, you're in the playoffs. You're playing to win the Stanley Cup. So, but going forward, I think, like you said, the locker room, they're gonna have to. They got some guys to sign, but I think now that we've established that hopefully we're gonna continue being a good team going forward. I think it'll be intriguing for a lot of players that want to come and do well and live in a good area.
Yeah, Coach Q and Updog are boys. They smoke cigars together. They become tight out here in Orange County. I got to meet Coach Q. I came to one game this year. You boys played the Islanders. And right after how many wins does he have? 1,000 wins? Hands me a cigar with 1,000 wins on it. And I had some battles against his Hawks teams back in the day. So I was like, Coach Q, nice to meet you. Fuck you. You just ran our show back then. But you're a beauty. Killer, you were lucky enough to play for John Cooper, a guy I know you love and respect so much. Now that you're playing for a guy like Coach Q, in your opinion, what is it the it factor for Coach Q that makes him such a legend to have 1,000 wins?
Well, he comes in and automatically has a ton of he doesn't have to gain respect, right, from players and coaches just because of what he's done in the league. So everyone automatically respects him. But he has like a feel for the game that I haven't seen with a lot of coaches in terms of adjustments he makes within lines with certain players, when to play them. And like he's kind of one of those guys that's at the blackjack table and things aren't going well and he'll like split whatever, a double down, and just wins every time. Like he just kind of has that feel to him. But just everything else like surrounding the hockey, like the meetings are great, they're not too long. Practice, we did not go to the board one time in practice, not once. So think about that. When he comes into training camp, no one knows the drills. We didn't go to the board.
That's awesome.
I'd be clueless out
That's
there.
awesome. Back in the lineups.
Yeah, it was like the assistant coaches are trying to like point us, but that's just the way he runs practice. He doesn't want to slow things down. He's like, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna work hard. We're not gonna be out there forever. But yeah, he's brought a lot to not just this team, but this organization. Like once they signed him, I think it gave the team and management and everyone belief. Like, okay, this is a big signing for the Ducks, and things went well this year. So hopefully we can continue that way.
He's such a beauty. I think there was 2 or 3 times I reached out to Loomis and Gilly about. I'm like, hey, we want to come in. We want to come to practice, shoot some content, say hi to the boys, and then interview Coach Q. And they're like, yeah, no problem. The 3 dates I gave him, he gave you boys 2 days off all 3 times, and you guys were at the fucking bar. And I'm like, first of all, Coach Q, you're a beauty. Second of all, we can't make it work because he was giving you like 2 days off. Killer, when I used to get 2 days off, buddy, I was the happiest guy on the planet.
Yeah, he's listen, as a veteran guy, like he's what you ask for in a coach. Like the video is quick in and out. If there's an option to have a day off, there's probably going to be a day off. But I will say, like, if things aren't going well, like that, we probably won't get those days off. It's just you get rewarded for playing well, and when things are going right, rest is a weapon for him for sure. So Yeah, that's just kind of the way he is.
I'm getting Coach Q arrested as a weapon tarp. I'm bringing him to training camp to him next year. He deserves it. 2 days off, like he's just tossing them around. I would have been in Hollywood all year. Where's O'Brien? He's in Hollywood again.
Exactly.
Killer, I want to talk to you about a couple of your teammates, buddy. And you made a great point. It wasn't just you that changed the culture. I thought Mikael Granlund coming in this year, I thought it was a great signing by Pat. I've watched him play in Nashville and Dallas, and I just thought when he came in, he brought another nice sentiment to your squad and a real complete player. What was it like to have him in there, and how much did he rub off on the young guys? Because he plays the game the right way, like yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I played against Granny forever. I mean, he'd been in, he was always in the West and I was in the East. We're kind of we've started at the same time, but he's kind of, he's one of those Finns that's just calm, cool, collected, never gets fired up. Super stoic, I guess would be the right word. But the way he plays is unbelievable. He plays every situation, right? He plays the half wall in the first unit for us. He's on the PK. He's finishing games. He's 6-on-5 whenever we need him. But he's definitely kind of a leader in the room. There's certain guys that they don't need to always talk, but guys listen when he talks, and he plays the right way. So especially for the younger guys to see him do that, never takes a game off, never takes a shift off. He's been very important to the team, especially with how much he plays.
Played with his brother down in Abbotsford. Fuck, would he get this pinned? I mean, when he had a time to go,
right in the sauna.
Nah, he'd just be the drunkest guy out there. I loved him. He was the quietest guy during the week, his brother. Then we get a night off, he's just the loudest guy at the bar, drunkest guy.
All Finns, it's like something in the blood.
It is something in the blood. You want to go?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you. We're talking guys and personnel, but a kid that stood out to me for the way he plays and the creativity. The puck control. I would love to play on a line with the kid, but that Beckett Seneca for you guys, Calder Cup, in any other year, he probably wins the Calder Trophy by long shot. What impresses you about this kid? Like, to me, I'd listen to him on interviews. Him and Cutter have kind of a cool little, like, they're totally opposites. You probably say that.
Yeah.
But like the way he just skates and his edge work and the creativity at such a young age, like what to you stands out and reminds you maybe of someone you played with in the past, but a really special talent you guys got there?
Yeah, I mean, like some guys were saying he might be like a combination of a Corey Perry and a Bobby Ryan, maybe like a mixture of those two. I mean, I was super impressed with the way he was able to handle the physicality of the game, being a 19-year-old in the NHL. Like most guys that I've played with that are that young can be a little timid no matter what, like even if they were physical in the OHL, just because it's such a different league. But he kind of embraces it, whether he's hitting guys or he's putting himself in spots to get hit. It doesn't bother him at all. He doesn't lack any confidence, which I think could be a good and bad thing, but it's a good thing just in the sense that, like, if things don't go well for him, if he turns it over, which all young guys do, and a coach gets on him, like, he doesn't go into his shell. He's not worried about it. He's going to go back out the next shift and try to make a play. And I think that's so important for young guys, and he's going to continue to get better. He hasn't really grown into his body. He's a big man. He's a right-handed shot. So, really impressed with him this year.
Yeah, if Corey Perry ever retires, I don't know if he ever going to, but they should just hire him and let him come in and just teach Beckett Seneca how to truly be the worm, because they do have a lot of similarities.
Both
very
slippery.
He's not quite as greasy as Pears, though. No. I don't know him, but I can guarantee it. Yeah. I can guarantee it.
Is anybody?
But Killer, you talk about his turnovers, man. And one night I was watching you guys near the end of the year. You went into Van. I obviously put some money on you boys, and he was turning the biscuit over left, right, and center. And then finally, Coach Q had seen enough and sat him down. And then I believe you guys played the next night, maybe in Edmonton or Calgary, and he was one of your best players. So I was like, good for Coach Q, because after the fourth fucking turnover, I was ready to rip the TV off. And good for Beckett, because he bounced back and wasn't sulking. The next day, he played great.
Yeah, I think that was in I think he scored a hat trick in Calgary, and he scored the game winner in overtime. So that was after that game. But
yeah, exactly.
It's a hard line to kind of to toe when you're a coach. Like, this guy is such a good player. He's going to be one of the better players for the future of the Ducks. And, like, he is turning it over, but do I just sit him for 2 games, or do I, maybe give him a little whack and see how he responds. And it seems like I always thought in my career, some of the best players were the guys that responded well, whether it was they got scratched, whether they got sad, whether they had a bad game. Like the way to respond when guys can respond in those moments, I think it says a lot about them as a player. And he has that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw an interview with him too. He's like, "What scares you?" He's like, "Man, the hits in this league. I'm sure someone's going to get me eventually." But he's like, "These guys are hitting hard out here."
When he has his head up, like, fucking crazy. The kids.
What a
Yeah,
pick.
but to like his personality is like before we played Pittsburgh, he's like, "Oh my God, we're playing against Sidney Crosby. Like that's crazy, like starstruck." And then like 10 minutes later, he's like fighting the guy and like punching him. I'm like, "What are you doing, man?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. It just kind of things got out of hand."
Yeah, he seems
That's how you get in the league, though. That's what you have to do. That's actually that's good on him.
what a
Yeah,
ballsy.
no, it's great.
Yeah, what a ballsy pick by Pat Verbeek too, taking him third overall. Like it was a shock of the draft, and even the look on Beckett's face when he got drafted, he was like, "Holy fuck, nice third overall. That'll be a nice payday." But Killer, a couple more for me here, buddy. Appreciate you, my man. Leo Carlson, we all know how great he is. I just want to talk about the 2 rounds, the experience that he got. Like I look back on my career, like I used to say one playoff series was like, I don't know, 20 games in the NHL or maybe more. Like you learn so much. Like, what did you see from him and how much better is he going to be just because of that nice little 2-round run you boys had?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of guys are looking to him to be one of the guys going forward. You know, first line center, 6'4", can skate like the wind, and we always talk about his ceiling. I don't know that he's reached it yet, but in the playoffs, you can kind of see him pulling away and turning into the player I think everyone thinks he's going to be. And I also think this year, like there's certain things with our system. You know, I've always played man on man. We didn't play man on man this year. And as a centerman, we played a zone. And I think that was a lot easier on the young guys where they didn't have to run around. You know, you watch Carolina, they're really good at it, but they have a lot of older guys like Stahl who are just big and strong. So for him to not spend as much time defending in the D zone, I think was huge for him. But yeah, every night he's one of those guys where he does something and kind of goes, wow, that's a special player.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. And another pick by Verbeek, like Fantelli was, was supposed to go ahead of him, and Pat saw, what he saw in Leo, and everything Pat has done, I got to give him credit. Like, besides maybe the Getzlaff stuff, but other than that, everything he's done has been a fucking home run. So, and he's a hard worker, Pat Killer. Like, I heard he's like the hardest working GM in the league. Like, his hands are on everything.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's what we like. I know he likes to get a lot of scouting in, probably more scouting than a lot of gyms do.
Yeah.
Especially in a rebuild. But I think when you look at the guys he's picked, Beckett and Leo, guys that probably, I don't know if, a team in our position would have picked those guys. I know he likes to go really scout and see these players. Like, if we're playing here, he's going to fly out with us, but then he's going to go to Moose Jaw and watch a couple games, and then he's got to drive to wherever it is. So he puts in a lot of effort to find these guys, and I think now his role might be changing a little bit, where he feels like we've found the guys, and now he has to manage to make sure this team, whether it's signing big free agents or making trades, just to make us better every summer. But yeah, he works his bag off.
Yeah.
A little bit about the new NHL Killer. You guys got you got Cutter with a goal song, and he scored a lot of goals. But
fuck, he's got a nice release.
Yeah, he's got a nice release. So you got new NHL.
Well, we all got goal songs.
We got
but
goal
you don't hear
songs.
ours as much.
Yeah.
I would have needed a penalty song every time I got a penalty. They play my O'Brien hooking.
And then just a little bit about the outfits, dude. The first year the guys are walking in with wearing whatever they want. Like, your thoughts on that? Like, how did the guys handle that? You're an old school guy. You're a Harvard guy.
Yeah.
You come in, Tom Ford, looking sharp.
Proper.
Were there times this year where you had to look at a kid and like just shake your head and be like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you end up shaking your head a lot about a lot of different things, but the outfits for sure. I mean, I just liked suits because I didn't have to think about anything.
Yeah.
I just put my suit on. I had my whatever amount of suits, and it was kind of easy. But I guess it was really important for guys in bargaining to get no dress code. But I think there's certain guys that can do it. Other guys just look like they're Jake from State Farm or whatever it may be, but so that's, I don't know if that's the best look for the NHL, but there are certain guys that kind of, when the NBA guys walk in, they got good style. Like, it's not my style per se, but I think they pull it off. So New NHL.
Yeah, I was all for it, and then now I wish we could just go back to suits.
Well, you see some like Lululemon tarps and shit. You're like, guys, come on.
I see a lot of quarter zips coming in and shit. Like I'm like, quarter zip. Fuck, I don't know about that. Hey, Killer, last one for me, buddy. You're the best, man. Hey, my old buddy Tim Army was my video coach in Denver. I love him. I used to pick the pucks up in practice. And I'd be like, what does that say on there, Army? It says NHL, buddy. Best league in the world. I love that guy. What do you think of him? And I noticed on the bench that him and Coach Q were communicating quite a bit.
Yeah, I think Coach Q leans on him a lot during the game. But it's funny that you say that. Like, he's the one guy, Mr. Positivity every day. Like, what a day to be in the NHL. Like, where else would you rather be? And like, even after a loss or whatever. But and I think that energy is like can be contagious. So I got a lot of respect for him, the way he kind of treats his job and the way he comes to work every day. He kind of, what a day.
What a day. Best league in the world, 700 players. All you know is go.
Travis Tritt,
best 700 players in the world.
To be alive, Travis Tritt.
Yeah. I love Army. So, Killer, man, thank you so much. Have a great off season, buddy. When you get back out here before camp, Big Canyon should be up and running. So we'll get you out for. They say no guests, but we'll sneak a 2-time Stanley Cup champ like yourself out there before the season starts.
I appreciate that, boys, and thanks for having me on.
Fellas, welcome back to Missin Curfew. Up dog. Thank you to our boy Killer, Alex Killorn. Love that guy, man. When he first signed here, like, he hadn't even been here a week. I'm like, let's go tee it up. And we sent a picture of me and him in the golf cart to John Cooper. And Coop's like, well, that didn't take long. And obviously, I haven't got to see him that much over his time here because he's playing and raising a family and being a leader. But I love his game, man. I love the way he played in the playoffs this year. So Killer, man, thanks. He's a beauty.
I wanted to ask you, I forgot Obes, but he lived in Irvine Terrace next to our boy Loops. And I just wanted to ask him, like, how many times do you see Loops walking his little fucking rat dog, Hank, down to go get coffee and CDM? Like, he had to have seen him. Loops, eh?
Oh, yeah.
AirPods in, little dog fucking on the leash. I mean, that's price of admission right there.
Yeah.
Listen, I think what we just spoke to Killer about really resonates in the type of guy he is, treating his teammates well, being a good leader in the room, a guy that, strives in playoffs, and just a good guy, which is why we're trying to get him an honorary at Big Canyon. So,
I've been in the ear, tipped him, Lane.
We haven't really sponsored anyone, so he'd be a good guy to kind of put on the books.
They like to have the golfers be the honorary. Like they gave Ricky Fowler one.
I know, but he's a golfer.
Yeah, no, he's a stick.
Like, you got to have a guy that's a scratch golfer come in and be able to shoot the shit with guys.
Yeah.
But just what the Ducks did with Killer is what we would do at Big Canyon with Killer. Great guy, good for the room, good guy to be around, great storyteller. Harvard grad. We forget that sometimes, but fucking some hockey guys are really smart.
Man, I went to his 1,000th party at Cannery. They're like, everyone's smart. Buttoned up, intelligent. I'm like, I walk in there too. I'm just gunned. I pinned after golf, hitting the pen. I come in. I don't know anyone. The whole team's over there. I'm like, hey, boys, how you doing? I got Mac Miller with me. Cutter Gauthier staring at him. Hey, let's take a run at her, fella. And all his Harvard boys. And then I got lucky up dog. The one guy, a couple guys like, oh, fella, we love Missin Curfew. So I just went over and sat with them.
Yeah, sweet. No, but he
met his mom. His mom was so important to his career. She was a sweetheart.
Yeah, and you can see he's already got his hair trimmed down, his beard's off, he's getting a tan, so he's enjoying, it's a successful year. Obviously, it could have been, we talked about it could have been anybody's year here in the West with Colorado Avalanche that hit a wall. And I think the message to those young Ducks and to that team is we're as good as anybody in the West now. We've gained, we've got momentum and we've come so far. Use this in the summer. Come back excited next year, and I'm pumped to see the growth in that group.
The Duckies are back, man. Ducks like rain. Listen, Pat Verbeek, you got to sign Leo and Cutter, which I'm sure you will. Let's give Killer an extension while you're at it here. But the Ducks are back, man. I mean, that core group, the experience, Coach Q. And I just felt bad because the season ended. I wanted to tee it up with Killer, and we got no golf course. And I was trying to get him out at Shady, and I was trying to get him out at Newport with Silky. So when he comes back, we're not supposed to have guests, but I'm gonna do what I can. I'm gonna get him out there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get him out there. So
thanks, Killer, for showing up.
Killer, you're the man, buddy. Up dog, thanks, bud. Thank you to Hall Pass Media, Max, the Ice Pick Pickup, Kyle Casey Conway. That was Mr. Curfew,
fellas.